I read for 24 hours straight, and half the kids died. It did not go well.
Firstly, the rules. For the next 24 hours, I'll only be reading. That means no phone, no sleeping, and no TV. That means even if I'm eating or going to the bathroom, that there better be a book in my hand.
These are the books that I've chosen to read for the next 24 hours, and I'm pretty excited to read most of them, and I think I'll go through most. It's almost, it is 2 o'clock, and I'll be starting off with my first book, The Red Queen. 2 p.m. Look at me, so innocent, no idea what I'm about to get myself into.
So it's been a couple hours, and I'm halfway through my first book, Red Queen, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a dystopian book that's popular on TikTok, and as you can see, we changed locations to get in that warm afternoon sun before it sets and it goes dark and cold. And so far, it's going pretty well. I'm really enjoying it, but I don't think it's going to get a lot harder until the later hours of the night, when the tiredness sets in.
The sun's just set, and I've just finished my first book, and I really liked it. I don't want to give away spoilers, but the twist at the end of this book was crazy. And I'm just disappointed that I didn't buy the whole series, because I really want to keep reading this. But I gotta move on with the challenge, and with my next book being fine print. On to the second book, The Fine Print. This is honestly one of my favorite paperback covers I have, and you might have heard of it. It's part of the Dreamland Billionaires series, and that's like crazy popular at the moment. Because when I posted this to my story, so many of you guys replied asking me how I found it. And honestly, I'm so intrigued to read this now. So let's just jump into it. Now it's getting to that point in the night where I start to hear the growls. The growls that go in the night, my stomach. I was getting hungry, and well, if you couldn't tell, I'm a culinary chef. A genius, if you will. Just call me the next Gordon Ramsay. Did you see how I cracked those eggs? And man, I can tell you, it was pretty scrumptious. And also, I brushed my teeth without getting a single drop on my book while reading it. I don't know about you, but that takes some skill. So it's 2 a.m. Sure, I can see why this challenge is a little bit hard. Maybe I'm getting a little bit more tired, and maybe my reading's taking a little bit longer. But I did read Dreamland Billionaires, The Fine Print. It wasn't my favorite, but it definitely wasn't bad. Mainly because I don't really read rom-coms. Quick warning, it's 2 a.m. I slowly lost my mind at this point, and I tried to make some jokes that didn't quite make sense. So just cut me some slack here. Sure, if you have a few hours to spend, definitely read it. But if you have an English degree, you probably won't read it. But I did read it, so that brings me on to my third book. And this is actually the third book in a series that I've been reading. The Skullmancer's The Golden Enclave. And this is a bit of a pick-me-up for me. It's a fantasy world like Harry Potter. It has magic in it. And half the kids die and it gets really dark. So, just a bit of a pick-me-up. I was breezing through this challenge, and then all of a sudden, like a brick wall, bam, it hit me. The tiredness started to set in. The words on the pages started muddling together. I couldn't read it anymore. I enacted every technique I could, splashing water in my face, drinking coffee, but nothing was working. And then the sun came up. Oh my god. I felt rejuvenated. All I needed was that warm glow on my face, and I could power through this.
Final hours, and most likely, final book. I just finished reading The Golden Enclave, and I gotta say, I was blown away by it. I thought that was the perfect end to the trilogy, honestly. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna like that they left the school, but I did, and I really loved the twist in it as well. But I did finish reading it, so that means I gotta move on to my fourth book, Belladonna. And honestly, I didn't think I was ever gonna say these words, but I really don't want to read anymore. I want this to be over. But we're in the final hours of the challenge, so I just gotta push on.
Bum, 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 look at me reading. Bum, 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 final reading hours. Look at me reading my final hours. Da 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 da. This is my reading song. Boop, 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 boop. We did it. We're done. It's been 24 hours. It's 2 p.m. I am so happy. I didn't quite finish reading this book, but I'm not going to. I'm so tired. Honestly, I didn't think this challenge was going to be that easy, but certainly not this hard. Like, the reading bit, that wasn't hard. It was the 24 hours staying up straight. That was hard, and the tiredness. But if you like this, check out my Instagram for my book account and my personal account. And also, watch my previous video where I reviewed 1-star reviews on my favorite books. See you later, nerds. I'm going to bed.